All right, folks, I have a Lego piece here that I can open up in my older version of Inventor. And so I'll show you how to do some basic assembly constraints. So up here is probably the best way to start a new assembly. Click on New Assembly and then go over to Place. Hit Place. Go find the piece or pieces that you want. So if you want a bunch of pieces, you would just click them. You can click one, hold down Control, and then click other ones if you know which ones you want. I only want this one. So I'm going to open it up by double clicking. And I'm actually going to place 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hit Escape to stop placing them. And one thing that's good to do when you start placing things in Inventor to constrain them together and to put into an assembly is to ground one of them. So if I click on this one here, in this window right here, I can right mouse click and go down to grounded, or I can go over into my browser, right mouse click, and go down to grounded. Either way, once it's grounded, you'll see this little thumbtack over in your browser, or when you mouse over it, you'll see that thumbtack as well. So notice how there's a thumbtack over this one, but when I mouse over this one here, there's no thumbtack on this one. Okay, so if I wanted to just put this piece directly on top of the grounded piece, what I could do is I would go to this constrain button here over where there's relationships, and then I would go to, I'm going to start with 2 flush constraints. So I start off by where it says solution, click on flush, and then click on the outsides of 2 surfaces that I want to have flush. So those 2 surfaces are now going to be flush with each other. I hit apply, and I also want this surface and this surface to be flush with each other. I hit apply. All right, now if I hit cancel just to see what's going on, right now this piece can just go up and down. This piece is still grounded, it can't go anywhere, but I want this piece to be, the upper piece to be stuck to the lower piece. Okay, so it can't go back and forth. It can't go sort of left and right. It can only go up and down. So one more constraint will keep it from going up and down. If I click on the top of this part, and then I'm going to just use this corner here to flip over those parts there. And then the second surface I want to click on is the bottom of this part. All right, so I clicked on the top of this part. You can see this little red arrow. This is going to be the other piece that I click on, and now those 2 surfaces have a mate constraint with each other, and then I hit apply, and they're stuck together. Okay, so those 2 Lego pieces, they're stuck together. All right, so there's my grounded piece, and I have those 2 stuck together now. How about if I wanted to put this one underneath, but offset by a little bit? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to constrain, and I'm going to put a flush constraint between the side and the side. All right, it pops it into a strange place, but that's okay. So there's a flush constraint there. If I look at this from the side right now, you can see that those are flush with each other. All right, but let's look at it from a little bit of an angle. So what happens if I want to constrain this surface with this surface? Oh, let's make that a flush constraint, but I want this to be offset. So let's see what happens here. Let me, hang on, let's see where that went. That went all over the place. I think we need this in. Let's just pause that there.